Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, the seekers and the sojourners of truth, the 144 chosen of the chosen few. You all know who you are. I greet you in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. I am Celestial Earth in its divine energy essence of it all, reporting to you live from nowhere other than dimension number 5. As usual, I am here to bring you the news to infuse, if you so choose to infuse, with the light that is lighting up on this light grid for those of us who are walking through the fifth dimension, 5D. If you just got here, welcome. Take a look around. Breathe in the essence of the unity frequency, which is the love frequency. Tap into your green. Open your heart, as today's heart chakra day for those of us who are working with the moon, the new moon energies. Happy new moon in Virgo. Virgo season is here. You would think I was born in this season. I'm actually born sun sign Libra, but I am such a Virgo. I have more placements in Virgo all over the board. I'm all charted out in Virgo, so I am such a Virgo. So this Virgo season activates those of us who have placements in Virgo, like myself, and activating this moment of organization. This is an opportunity, as we have 2 new moons this month. So we are in a window. It's a window of opportunity. It is a window of clarity in the aftermath of Halls of Amenti through the Sirius Gateway. It is organization of through discernment, right? It's really amplifying and highlighting this discernment of wisdom, this wisdom as discernment. So really a strong solar plexus vibe, as we're still in the solar plexus season. All through summer, we are in a solar plexus season. So towards the end of it now, as we're wrapping up summer, we are really amplifying the solar plexus energy of discernment, of order, of the I am, of knowing thyself, of also with this new moon, there is a shattering. This is the reset and the release that we need. It is a shattering of control through perfectionism, through the shadows of perfectionism that Virgo tends to hold. So this is giving us a chance to really break through these shadows, especially with our South Node in Virgo. We are also preparing. There's so much that's happening. We're preparing for the eclipse season that we are embarking on. We've already been feeling some of the intensities as we get closer to the what I call the eclipse window. The next full moon being that full moon, eclipse full moon, and then the new moon after that would also be an eclipse. So we're in this Virgo window. We're in this new moon Virgo window where there are 2 new moons within 1 month, both in Virgo. We're at 0 degrees right now. So we are at the point of neutrality. We are in the womb. We are about to be birthed out of the womb into 1 degrees, which is the new beginning. So we're at this neutral point, and the next new moon is going to be at the end of the cycle, which will be 29 degrees. It'll be as they say, the analytical degrees closing out the cycle. So we're now entering, this is the introduction to it. We're entering into the first decan of Virgo, and we're going to go through this entire Virgo window till we get to the end and close out on the at 29 degrees, closing out the 3rd decan, which is the conclusion, right? And the 2nd decan is usually the transition in time, which will probably be where we are with the full moon. Which reminds me, I should have said this in the beginning, and I'll remind us in the end, the next full moon workshop, full moon chakra moon workshop. And this is very important because we really want to work with our energy centers. For those who've never done it, for those who have done it, welcome back. Please do come in, especially if things are happening out there and about. This will help to answer some of what has been happening and what is to come. November is going to be a very important month, and this is the last workshop, not the last full moon, but it is the last workshop before we enter into, before November, before we are in the Scorpio season, or what I call, according to the 5D calendar, the Sekhmet season. All right, according to the 5D calendar, we have now entered the Auset season. We just came out of Heru, Leo, and entered into Auset, Virgo. Don't forget to get your 5D calendars at a 5D corner near you. Email me in the link below. And also email me if you want to sign up for the workshop. For anyone who signs up, the registration is free. And so for anyone who signs up, we'll have a workbook to work along with. That's for everybody, a new workbook that we haven't quite shared with everyone, so everyone will be getting that workbook to actually work along with in your chakras. It's going to be really helpful. This is a really helpful shadow working tool that helps you tap into your soul and see what it is that we need to see. A lot of what is happening with this clarity is asking us in this reset to bring forth unprocessed emotions. A lot of people aren't really realizing that, and I'll talk about that some more probably in another video, because I really want to go in depth with that. But with this one, I want to focus on what's happening with the new moon. So keep that in mind, that there is a lot that we are to be processing, and our energy centers definitely help us with that. They are doorways into our consciousness. They are a part of our consciousness. So it will help you to understand how this part of your consciousness is being or not being. Is it blocked? Is it open? Is it overactive? Is it underactive? But whatever it is, we need to clear these up in our energy bodies, in our emotions, which is energy in motion, and energy in motion moves through each and every one of our energy centers, not just the 7 here, but don't forget the one above, the soul star, and the earth star below, right, just above us, outside of our body. And so all of this is helping us in this reset time. So definitely there needs to be a lot of unprocessing. If I can tell you what I've been seeing, honestly, there are people who are still holding on to their emotions, and that's the hardest part. Unprocessed emotions are going to be the block. For those of you who are jumping timelines, quantum leaping, entering into the 5th dimension, it is your own wounds, let's say, that will hold you back. Everything is vibrational. So there has to be a vibrational match for you to cross. If not, it's almost like there's this invisible wall that is blocking you. A lot of people can't see it. Crossing a timeline is not visible. It is dimensional. It's happening through the dimensions of your mind, through the dimensions of your soul. And you can only leap or enter into that next timeline when you have evolved through your soul. It's an evolution. The soul ascension is the soul's evolution. So when you have moved through to that next level, then you will be ascended into that next timeline of your soul self. And so it's all has to do with vibrations and where you are in your frequencies. Are you still entertaining the lower densities of the 3D shadows, right? It's not to leave 3D, as I always say. We are expanding. We're expanding 3D into the 5th dimension. So have you worked out your lower densities so that you can raise your vibrations and enter into the higher frequencies by releasing those low densities, low vibrational emotions that are held there, whether knowingly or not, right? And specifically unknowingly. It's what you don't know and what you can't see, or what you choose not to see, that will hurt you. So throw out that concept that says what you can't see won't hurt you. That is a lie. That is not truth. Truth is, it is the very things that you are not seeing that are in your unconscious, subconscious mind that are holding you back. So I invite those who are ready to take that next step, please think about entering into the workshop, specifically the upcoming full moon workshop. I'll have other workshops, but the full moon divine chakra full moon workshop really helps to utilize these energy centers as well as the celestial bodies, the energy centers, understanding your natal chart, things like that. Right, so this new moon, right, so that's speaking about what's up and coming, so look out for that so that you can sign up. What's happening now with this new moon, the main thing that I'm seeing is Uranus. It is squared with Uranus, the new moon, and the sun. The new moon is when the sun and the moon are aligned, right? Opposition, when they're opposite, it's a full moon. But when they are aligned, I call it kiss and make up in the dance through the cosmos in time. When they come together, they are in alignment. It is when you bring the inner world, which is the moon, into the outer world, right? Where they meet, and whatever has been happening in the moon energy, in our deep emotions and deeper aspects of us, is brought to the outer world through the sunlight. What comes out of the dark into the light. So it's when that information is brought forth through the alignment of them, which makes it more, let's say, harmonic, because you're not, it's not in opposition like it is with a full moon, where it's like you're opposing yourself and you're seeking to find this balance, which is still good, because the full moon is a cosmic spotlight like that brings these dysfunctions to the forefront. The new moon is now saying, okay, it's time to release and reset. You can release in both the new moon and the full moon. The new moon is inviting you to also reset, though. Like, what is happening in this cycle? The new moon begins a whole new cycle. And what is happening is this one is really bringing forth clarity, and really is like, I call it the sweep up, the cleanup crew after what has happened in 8-8 halls of Amenti. All that was brought up with us being in Mercury in retrograde, and Mercury rules Virgo. So communication, and Mercury rules Virgo as well as Gemini, which is where Uranus is. So yeah, I lost it I had to grab the thought back, pull it back. And so look at that. Mercury rules both Gemini and Virgo, and they are in a square. They're in a square because both are air, not air signs. Both are mutable. There you go. They're the same quality, which means they're mutable. So, and they're in the beginning stages, the beginning degrees. Uranus being at about 1 degree, and the moon and the sun together at 0 degrees. So they're in a tight orbit, and the square is what we're going to be feeling is Uranus being that planet of sudden change, radical change, revolutionary change. I call it the Oya energy. It's that lightning bolt, sudden change, and sudden changes is what we need. It's almost like that spoon that's stirring up the pot. We need that in Virgo, because Virgo, wanting to be a stickler and overcritical, what it does is it breaks up the things that it wants to be stagnant in Virgo. So being meticulous about, or perfectionist about, or something that it may be holding on to, wanting to know the nitbits and all the little details. And it's like the Uranus, the square with Uranus, which is the spoon that's stirring everything up, is saying, we don't got time for this, right? Gemini is like an air sign, so it's like, look, we don't have time for this. Let's go. That will, pick the book up and read it on the way. Carry it with you and check it out along the way. We need to move with proficiency and efficiency. Let's go chop chop. So it kind of helps to shake that up, and it brings things up that are creating these sudden changes that may feel uncomfortable. It depends on where you are in your work, in your soul work. Depends on how attached you are to things. The more attached you are, the harder it's going to be. This is why I've been working on the detox and detach since about April. Those of you who have been with me, I'm pretty sure you're seeing why. And some of you have thanked me and said, hey, I'm glad we did this detox and detach, because we need to be detached, so that we can be in total connectivity of everything, so that we can be so open in our crown chakra to receive what we need to receive and let go of things that we thought we knew. When you have something fixed to hold on to, it's harder to let it go. And Virgo being a mutable sign, it shouldn't be too hard to let it go. It's simply wanting to let go of the meticulous and the wanting to control through perfectionism. That's what it is that you want to let go, right? And our south node being in Virgo, this is what is being activated. The south node, which is right before this is a preparation of organization before we hit the eclipse season, which the eclipse is very tied to the nodes. The eclipse and the nodes go hand in hand. And I've really got to do a video about these nodes, because I want us to really look at what's happening with the nodes, how it affects us even with our personal nodes. But let's speak about the general one. The south node in Virgo, which is where we are now, is what's going to be activated. And what it's asking us is to do away with how we have seen service. It's the south node is about the past, how we have shown up in the past, and what it is we need to let go of. If you want to look at how to work with the south node and the north node, it's utilizing the things that come up in the south node, the shadows of that we don't need. You know, it highlights the shadows of the Virgo sign, so to speak, the things that are happening with our south node in Virgo, how we have showed up, how we've looked at things to try to be so controlling, being so perfectionism-ist through the control. And that's why the control happens, because of wanting to be meticulous to a perfectionist manner. And so it's pulling that back and saying we don't need that. And with that, we're also able to look at service, because Virgo is about service. So all of these things are also going to be challenged in specific areas, jobs and vocations in these areas that have to do with service, that has to do with medical, because Virgo is also about health, right? Chiron also is the planet that also rules this sign, and Chiron is in Aries right now. So there is something there that we're looking at in regards to our health. How do we see ourselves as a health? How do we even look at health? Is it about being a health nut, so to speak, or is it about recognizing that you are healthy, whole, and complete, and that when you take care of your mind, the mind takes care of the body. The mind is what signals to the body. So are you at a stage now where you're realizing that your health begins with the wealth of your soul? This is why it's important to do that soul work, to tap into your energy centers more than anything. This is not a side hustle. This is not an extra thing to do. This is if you want that true healing, which comes through a true revealing, is to allow the soul's consciousness to unfold, to highlight to you what needs to be healed, what needs to be worked on, what needs to be revealed to be healed. So Chiron being the wounded healer, it's going to bring up these, and Chiron is in retrograde as well. And there's stuff that was coming up since we were in the halls of Amenti with Chiron and Mercury. As I said, they were like working together. Mercury was taking us real deep, and Chiron was saying, well, here's the wounds. Here it is. And so now us being in that house that it rules, along with Mercury, again, they're working together. But now it's like, for some of us, we're feeling a sense of clarity, but there's still some work to do with this clarity. There's some organizing to do, which has to do, again, with the solar plexus. When we're coming from the crown going down, like now, I would call it new moon manifestations, where we're working from the crown going down. And we will be, tomorrow, we would actually be on our solar plexus, where we would call it the word for it is discrimination or discernment, where everything needs to be put in its place, where you know your I am, because you know the different aspects of you. There are these many different aspects of you. Your spiritual thoughts, the abundant aspects, the strength aspects, the creepy crawly aspects, all of these are different parts of you. So it's about recognizing discernment. Do you recognize that? Do you recognize this that is not good for you, even though it may appear to be good for you? True discernment. And this is what this new moon in Virgo is going to unveil for us. It is going to help us see through discernment the wisdom. It's going to help us practice this wisdom, this essence of Sophia wisdom that has been rising even more as we were walking through the halls of Amenti, as we were trotting through the Sirius gateway, getting all these light codes, these Blu-ray light codes, and there's so much that is coming online. So there's a lot for us to do. There's a lot for us to recognize, and I'm going to do, like I said, a separate video and speaking more about not just the nodes, but also about what is coming up, like what needs to be processed. There's a lot of processing. If I can just say the number one thing that we could do, if those who may be asking, well, what can I do? Go in and unprocess. Process your unprocessed emotions. Find where there are. Seek, be true seekers within your soul. And seeking doesn't mean beating your head against the pavement trying to figure it out. Seeking means being in a state of allowance. Seeking means to know thyself by not saying, I don't know, and allowing yourself to receive the answers that will come intuitively. This is all a big step. So allow this portal, this window, this new moon portal to just open up, and press the reset button. Let it open up and bring in the clarity through organization, putting everything where it needs to be, starting first with your soul, with the compartment in your soul. Yes, you can also clean up particular areas in your house, because when you start to do things physically, physical activities are, this is what I call rituals, right? Rituals are a physical bridge between the invisible and the visible. So by doing something where you're actually saying, I'm going to declutter this corner, I'm going to take this time to really, sit with myself, and in meditation, remove this chaos, these chaotic thoughts from in my mind, within my feelings, within my thoughts, get to know myself, remove the defensive, egoic narrative that misappropriated ego has wanted to spin all this time. I'm going to declutter these thoughts and feelings. I'm going to declutter my body, the junk that I've been putting in my body. I'm going to take this time to detoxify my mind, detoxify my body, detoxify my soul, detoxify my home. This is a time to really go within, use this window, Virgo. This is this Virgo window. It's very rare that we have the new moon in Virgo twice, at the beginning of the month, at the end of the month. This is the beginning. This is your new opening. This is 0 point of neutrality. Where you go from here is on you. It is how you choose to infuse with the light. What is your end of the month going to look like? This is your beginning. This is your introduction. What is going to be your conclusion is dependent on how you choose to utilize whatever is coming up. And one of the things I'd like to add, as I say Uranus is playing a really key point, is please be willing to adjust to changes. Right? If I could share this real quick, what happened with me recently is I have a neighbor that is putting up a fence where it would really hinder, they don't even use that space, but it will hinder me pulling out my trash cans from the back, because I use that entire space that they do not use. It narrows my space and I can't walk through it, both of them. And I've been doing this ever since I lived here. So I had to look at that as, you know what, this is a change. I had to sit with myself. Yes, I can say they're being a little inconsiderate, but it's their land. I had to look at the truth of the matter. And I had to look at myself and say, okay, what is it to be? What can be done? And then I said, you know what? I've been talking about these changes and that changes are going to happen. So now here's your opportunity to work that change. So if something is coming up and it feels like, yes, it may be unfair, it may be an inconvenience, whatever it may be uncomfortable. But instead of feeding into that, stop and sit with yourself. Find your strength in love, in the love frequency, in the unity frequency, and see how you can unify with this truth, right? And see it as, you know what, this is a necessary change. So how can I change? Be up for the challenge of change. Ashe. And so what I did was say, you know what, I'm going to put one can here since I can't walk with both of them in that way. I'll put one can here and I'll leave the other one in the back, whichever one works. For me, it works better to have my recyclable in the back by the kitchen, so as soon as something needs to be recycled, I could dump it in there. If there's anything that is, garbage bag, tie it up and just bring it out the front and put it right there. It's like, okay, let's work it out. So, right? Thank you, Mom. Right? It's like, she's right. Psh, dropped it right in my soul star. Right in my car. Psh, she's right. So, Ka, praises to the breath of life. Raise that roof as our flames unite and ignite. So, I say that to share with you all. Find the unity frequency. Be up for the challenge of change, and then be willing to make that change. You got to make that change, like Michael Jackson said, talking to the man in the mirror. So, find it in yourself and enjoy this window, this black moon of this new moon in Virgo, out to the Virgo season. And as a reminder, please remember to like, subscribe, share, comment if you dare, so we can get these algorithms up and get it to those who are in the remote places that are looking for the lighthouse to find their way, to find their path as they walk through the 5D expansion. Ashe. And remember that the 5D calendars are at a 5D corner near you. Email me. I'll put it in the link below. It's at akilahtextri@gmail.com. You can also meet me there if you want any one-on-ones. If you are looking for any workshop coming up, get in where you would want to fit in. I'm not even just going to say where you fit in, where you would want to fit in if you are on this journey and you want to unfold in this journey, continue to unfold in your soul and open these layers within you, especially if you want to get things organized and right and get that clarity before we enter into November. This is the last workshop, full moon workshop, that we will have before November, and it's going to be a great deal of help. So I welcome you all. Please, each one, reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out and be the candle that lights the next one and the next one and the next one. Peace, love, and light.